What if every text you send is pushing them further away? You keep showing up, keep explaining, keep trying to fix things. But watch what happens in their head. The more available you are, the less they think about you. That's the pattern nobody tells you about. Pull back, and suddenly they're the ones reaching out. It's not about tactics, it's about biology. When you're always available, you're like background music, present but unnoticed. Your brain assigns value based on availability. Scarce equals valuable. Abundant equals taken for granted. Researchers proved this with a simple test. Same cookies, different jars. People rated cookies from the nearly empty jar as better. Not because they tasted better, because scarcity triggers value perception in your brain. This isn't manipulation. It's how your brain is wired, and it applies to people too. But scarcity alone isn't enough. There's a second force at play. Now, losing someone hurts way more than getting them felt good. That's not just feelings talking. Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman proved it. Losing $100 hits you twice as hard as gaining $100 makes you happy. Your brain is wired that way. So when you disappear, they're not thinking, I gained my freedom back. They're thinking, I lost access to them. That frame switch is everything. Loss triggers pain, and that pain doubles down. But you need to understand the trap you're walking into right now. Every time you mention them to your friends, you're rehearsing that connection in your brain. It's like replaying a song over and over. The more you replay it, the harder it sticks. Your brain creates actual proteins at the connections between neurons when you repeat something. Those proteins keep that pathway alive. Talking about them strengthens the wiring. Stop talking about them to anyone for 48 hours. Just commit to 2 days of complete silence on this topic. Track how many times you catch yourself wanting to bring them up. That awareness is step 1 to breaking the pattern. Silence does something your brain needs. 30 to 90 days without rehearsing that memory, and the connection starts to naturally decay. Not disappear, decay, gets weaker, easier to move past. But you have to actually stop feeding it. When you stay silent, 2 things happen at once. They feel the loss because you're gone. You rewire your brain because the pathway gets weaker. That's the asymmetry they're not ready for. You're fixing yourself while they're stuck wondering where you went. Right now you're thinking, but won't they just forget about me? Actually, the opposite. Watch what happens when you stop being the one who needs them and become the one they can't reach. Before we go further, reality check. Not every breakup fits this. This works when they took you for granted, when you were always available and they stopped valuing it. If you share kids, you can't do complete silence. Same if you work together or have the same friend group. In those cases, civil but distant. Polite when you need to be. Short, not warm, not cold, just neutral. If you were the toxic one in the relationship, this whole thing changes. Your goal isn't making them regret. It's genuine change and respecting that they made the right choice for themselves. And if they're in actual crisis, mental health emergency, or family situation, basic decency comes first. One final conversation for closure is valid if you need it, but make it final. Say what you need to say, then commit to distance. I know this feels like a lot of rules, but getting this right matters way more than moving fast. Ask yourself right now, does my situation fit the clean breakup scenario? If you have shared responsibilities, what does civil but distant look like for you? If you were in the wrong, what does respecting their choice actually mean? Answer those honestly before you take another step. Now, assuming this does apply to you, let's talk about what happens next. Most people say they're gonna work on themselves. They join a gym, read half a book, try something new for 3 days, then quit. That's not growth. That's just noise to fill the empty space they left behind. You need a structure or you'll burn out in 2 weeks and end up right back where you started. The 3-30-90 rule. Pick 3 areas. 1 physical goal you can see in the mirror, 1 mental goal that builds a skill or expands what you know, 1 social goal that connects you to people who aren't part of that old story. Not 10 goals, not some massive life overhaul. 3, write them down tonight. Put them in your phone notes. Make them specific. Not get in shape. That's vague. Hit the gym 3 times a week for 30 minutes. That's a target you can measure. 30 days is the minimum threshold. That's when you start seeing the first real progress. That's when other people start noticing something's different about you. But most people bail at day 14 because they don't see results fast enough. Your body needs 30 days to adapt. Your brain needs 30 days to rewire the habit. Stick it out. Set a 30-day calendar reminder right now with the title Progress Check. Not did they notice, just Progress Check. 90 days is where the transformation happens. Not because you suddenly become perfect, because your identity shifts. You stop saying, I'm trying to work out. You start saying, I work out. You stop thinking, I should learn this. You just do it. That shift from trying to being happens around day 90. Mark that date too. Day 90 is when you look back and realize you're not the same person who got left behind. Track what actually matters. How's your energy? How's your confidence when you walk into a room? What did you learn this month? Those are your metrics, not whether they saw your story, not whether someone told them you're doing well. Ask yourself this question right now. If they never found out you changed, would you still do it? If your answer is no, your motivation is wrong. You're still trying to prove something to them. Real growth doesn't need an audience. When you hit day 45, something shifts inside you. Friends will ask, "What's different about you?" And you won't know how to explain it because the change didn't happen on the surface. It happened in how you see yourself. By day 90, they might reach out. And that's when the real test begins. Let's be completely honest about something. They might not come back. If they're the type who avoids connection, your absence might actually feel like relief to them. If they're emotionally healthy, they might just move on and build something new. And you need to be okay with that. Because the second you make this about their reaction, you hand them the power again. This was never about them. You just thought it was because the pain made you focus on what you lost instead of what you're becoming. The real win isn't them regretting. The real win is you not needing them to. You win if they come back and you get to choose whether they're worth your time now. You win if they don't because you still became someone stronger. That's called outcome independence. You're not attached to how this ends because both endings work for you. Success isn't, did they come back? Success is, am I happier now than I was 3 months ago? That's it. That's the only question that matters. Write that question down tonight. Put it somewhere you'll see it. Answer it honestly every 30 days. The twist you're not ready for? By the time they notice what you've become, you might not want them anymore. Not because you're bitter, not because you're trying to hurt them back, but because you genuinely outgrew the version of yourself who thought they were the prize. You spent 90 days building something real. They spent 90 days wondering what happened. Those aren't the same journeys, and you don't owe them access to where yours took you. I know right now that sounds impossible. The idea that you won't care feels like something people say but don't mean. But day 90, you is going to surprise you. Trust that version of yourself enough to start today. Tonight, write down your 3 goals. Set your 30-day reminder. Decide right now. Are you doing this for them to see or for you to become? Your answer to that question tells you if you're ready. So what does all of this actually mean for you right now? You understand the biology. Scarcity makes you valuable. Loss hits them twice as hard as gain. Every time you talk about them, you're wiring that connection deeper in your brain. You've got the framework. 3 goals. 30 days to see the shift. 90 days to become someone different. And you know the ending already. You win if they come back. You win if they don't. Both paths lead to you being stronger. The only question left is whether you're actually going to do it. Not tomorrow. Not next week after you think about it more. Today. Right now. Start the 48-hour silence challenge the second this video ends. No talking about them to anyone. Not your best friend. Not your mom. Not even yourself in the shower when you're replaying what happened. 48 hours of complete silence on this topic. Open your phone. Write down your 3 goals. 1 physical, 1 mental, 1 social. Be specific. Set a calendar reminder for 30 days from today. Title it Progress Check. Not Did They Notice? Just Progress Check. This only works if you commit to what's real, not what feels dramatic. Your attention is the only currency that actually matters in this. When you withdraw it, you become scarce. When you stay silent, your brain rewires. The version of you that exists 90 days from now is already waiting. That version is happier, stronger, less attached to outcomes. But that version only shows up if you start building toward it today. 3 months from now, are you going to look back and be glad you started? Or are you going to still be stuck replaying the same story, wondering what would have happened if you'd just committed? You already know the answer. Start now.